said about, this miscarriage, that there is hypocrisy around it.
I think it's...
I find Meghan Markle a very, very insecure person, and I think that she's quite controlling. And
what are you basing that on, Brenda?
I base it on very similar situation to my son, who married a very insecure lady, a girl, and I see so many similarities in Meghan and Harry. Harry is in a situation now which is completely foreign to what he had in a Hollywood, Hollywood setup, money orientated, and you look back and see Meghan. I didn't see one time when she wasn't grabbing hold of his hand or she wasn't had her hand on his back, sort of moving him forward, that she is in control. And I think that this article I felt it quite sickly, to be honest.
Okay, Brenda, well, clearly not a fan of Meghan. I have to say, it cannot see that Meghan Markle stands for anything other than good. She's a feminist. She believes in equality. She's spoken about Black Lives Matter. It seems to me that she just wants everybody's lives to be a little bit better, including her husband Harry's. I've got a lot of time for Meghan Markle. I'm not a royalist by any stretch of the imagination. Do I think that taxpayers' money could be spent better than on the royal family? Yes, of course I do. But we have a royal family. This is the situation we find ourselves in. And that young generation, Kate, Wills, Harry, Meghan, considering the amount of media spotlight that they have to endure, have made really intelligent use of it, backing causes like, for example, mental health. So, yeah, if you're going to come at me with this anti-Meghan sentiment, you had better be match fit.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel that serves truth piping hot with a side of grace and a sprinkle of don't test us. Today, oh honey, we are unpacking a moment that deserves a standing ovation. A moment where British radio got hit with a dose of clarity, courage, and class. And her name, Natasha Devon. Let's set the scene. It was one of those LBC call-ins where people dial up, pretend they've got a PhD in moral superiority, and try to drag public figures from their little armchairs. And on that day, the target of their recycled rage was, you guessed it, Meghan Markle. The caller? A woman who thought it would be a brilliant idea to criticize Meghan for opening up about her miscarriage in a powerful, vulnerable essay in the New York Times. You remember that? Meghan wrote about the heartbreak, the physical pain, and the emotional fallout of losing a child. It was raw. It was real. It was human. But this woman, she called it attention-seeking. She called Meghan self-centered. And then, as if she hadn't embarrassed herself enough, she added, "My son married a woman with the same character." Oh baby, now enter Natasha Devon, queen of sense, defender of empathy, and certified no-nonsense taker. Natasha did not flinch. She didn't play nice. She didn't throw shade. She brought the sun. She broke it down. With her calm but razor-sharp voice, Natasha told that caller exactly what needed to be said, that Meghan's story wasn't about attention. It was about healing, about connection, about breaking silence on something that has been hidden in the shadows for too long. Let's pause right there, because let's get real about what Meghan did. Miscarriage is one of the most silent, shamed, and misunderstood experiences a woman can go through. People suffer in silence, couples grieve alone, and society rarely wants to look that pain in the eye. Meghan said, "No, I'm going to speak." She didn't do it for clicks. She didn't do it for applause. She did it because her voice, amplified by fame, could be a lifeline to someone sitting in silence. And the fact that a woman could hear that and call it attention-seeking, that's not just tone-deaf, that's soul-deaf. And Natasha knew it. She told the caller, calmly but firmly, that sharing pain doesn't make you narcissistic, it makes you courageous. That Meghan wasn't asking for sympathy, she was offering solidarity. That's what true leadership looks like. That's what womanhood in the public eye should look like. Now let's dig even deeper, because this isn't just about one caller and one clapback. This is about a pattern. Meghan Markle has been vilified for everything under the sun. holding her baby bump too lovingly, eating avocados, wearing nail polish, daring to breathe on a Tuesday. And now, she was being criticized for mourning a loss? No, we're not doing that. This is why Natasha Devon's moment mattered. Because she didn't just defend Meghan, she defended every woman who's been told her emotions are too much, every woman who's been gaslit for grieving, every woman who's been told, smile and shut up. Let me tell you something. Meghan Markle has walked through fire in heels and grace. She's endured racism, classism, xenophobia, and tabloid terrorism. And yet, when she had every reason to curl inward, she chose to be vulnerable. And that is power. That is womanhood. That is strength. And I want to address something else the caller said, the comparison to her daughter-in-law. First of all, sweetie, your family dynamic isn't evidence. Just because you have a personal issue with someone who reminds you of Meghan doesn't make Meghan the villain. Maybe the problem isn't Meghan. Maybe the problem is your lens. And that's what Natasha so brilliantly highlighted. That we have a culture where women, especially women of color, are told they're too much for daring to take up space. Meghan isn't loud, she's just heard. She isn't dramatic, she's just unapologetically real. And for some people, that's threatening. Because Meghan doesn't fit the mold of a silent, smiling royal accessory. She's intelligent, she's articulate, she's bold. And the moment she stopped playing along with the performance, the knives came out. That's what this caller represented. Not just ignorance, but a culture that punishes women who choose to be visible on their own terms. And that's why Natasha Devon's voice cut through the noise like a lighthouse in a storm. She reminded us all that compassion is not a currency. It's a human right. That you don't get to pick and choose who deserves empathy based on your own biases or bitterness. Because if Meghan had stayed silent about her miscarriage, she would have been labeled secretive. If she spoke up, she was labeled performative. That's the trap. That's the double standard. And Natasha called it out without breaking a sweat. Let's be clear. This wasn't just about Meghan. This was about every woman who's been told her pain is performative. Every mother who's been hushed. Every person who's been told that vulnerability is weakness. Meghan cracked open a window into a conversation that is often locked shut. And Natasha? She kicked down the door. That's allyship. That's what using your platform looks like. Not sitting on the fence. Not saying I can see both sides. No, she chose the side of humanity. So here's to Natasha Devon for reminding us that there is nothing louder than quiet dignity and nothing braver than speaking your truth in a world that punishes you for it. And here's to Meghan Markle for daring to tell her story, even when the world tried to twist it. For every woman who's been told to sit down, shut up, and stay small, we see you. We are you. And just like Natasha, we will defend you loudly, fiercely, and without apology. Period. And to the caller, here's a little tip. The next time you want to come for Meghan Markle, bring facts, not projections. Because over here, we're not moved by bitterness. We're moved by truth. And truth is undefeated. Now go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments. What did you think of Natasha's clapback? And how do you think we as a society can keep calling out these lazy narratives? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more unapologetic commentary that cuts through the noise with heart, humor, and heat. Until next time, stay bold, stay kind, and stay louder than their silence.